always on time. I'm ahead of the game, I'm first place. I'm in my prime. Hard work that pays off. I pay dues, I'm paid off. Cross me, get crossed off. I'm so fresh, I'm so raw. Go hard like A-Day. It's game time like A-Day. I ball hard into play.
This season, watch the Hungry Jacks NBL take it to the next level.
We'll race anything around here. Even the odd penny farthing.
The NBL's Queensland rivals have shown very different form across the NBL Blitz, and tonight they go head-to-head as the 2-0 Brisbane Bullets take on a Cairns Taipans team desperate for a pre-season win. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Ulverston Sport and Leisure Centre in northwest Tasmania. Liam Santamaria on deck alongside NBL champion Peter Hooley, and we are underway, Pete.
Good to be here, mate, and yeah, looking forward to this one because the Bullets were exceptional in their last game against the Wildcats, and a lot of guys will talk about. Man, Nathan Sobey is back in the lineup, which is a good thing for all Bullets fans, and looking forward to the matchup here between two of the elite point guards in the league, Nathan Sobey and Scott Machado. And Scott Machado there with the early turnover, been struggling, especially shooting the rock. We know that's going to come, but I'm looking forward to seeing how he starts to work his way into this.
You mentioned Nathan Sobey back in. Jason Kadee still out for Brisbane, recovering from some illness. Alley-oop from Patterson to Tyrell Harrison.
Well, good start there, and we're going to talk about this man a lot, and that is Lamar Patterson. How good did he look in the last game against the Wildcats? Look good in the first one as well, but in the last game doing a bit of everything, as Scott Machado does there. There's what he does best. Really nice feed to the big fella. Finishes through contact.
Stephen Zimmerman, back-to-back doubles for the new import centre for the Taipans, and he goes to the line for the bonus. For the Snakes, no Nate Jawai and no Mirko Jeric tonight. Jeric out with the calf strain, Nate Jawai with soreness. He was absolutely outstanding.
It was unstoppable. Unstoppable, wasn't he? 21 points in 20 minutes, and every time he got the rock, he was scoring. And Jeric's not surprised. Jeric, he played a lot of minutes in that game and played all the first quarter.
Good news for Taipans fans. Kwat Noi back in the lineup tonight, coming off the bench. Zimmerman thought he had that clean, but he collects the body of Anthony Drimmick. Dan coming up worse for wear on the baseline.
I just copped a stray hand there from Drimmick, but I tell you what, as we get closer to the season, the Bullets trying to figure out their role clarity. We know what Anthony Drimmick's going to bring, but he is the first quarter guy right now, where he comes in and just tests the waters. He's that kind of streaky guy that when he gets hot, he can really fill it up, and had 10 points in the first quarter the other night, and did that a lot last year in his role, when whether he was starting or coming off the bench, Honey shot, and if he was dropping, you know the next one was going up and the one after that.
These Bullets are 2-0 in the NBL Blitz thus far, coming off a win over Perth by 10 last Friday. What have you made of them over the preseason thus far?
Well, it's interesting because you can't help but put them in the surprise packet category, but you look at what they got as Nathan Sobey gets the steal here.
Kicks it out. Patterson, straight away three is off, and the Taipans will get it back.
If you think about everything they've got, they shouldn't really be a surprise packet, but we know what they went through last year and the inconsistencies last couple of years, but obviously Nathan Sobey is going to lead the show, and his confidence will be sky high right now after his last 18 months. Mark Patterson's back, there's no doubt about it from what we've seen. Obviously it's pre-season, let's see it in the regular season, but he looks good. Drimmick is looking aggressive in attack mode. And speaking of attack mode, how good does he look?
Wow, Tajir McCall has been absolutely outstanding thus far. Coming off 15 and 10. He's averaging. Oh, Tyrell Harrison. Big, strong finish on the rim.
Speaking of playing with confidence, Harrison has just grown. And we've talked about the last 18 months of Nathan Sobey. Harrison's last 18 months have been outstanding and just really promising future ahead of him.
Here's Tajir McCall with playmaking responsibilities. Draws the foul. The Taipans will take it out. And it's a good point you make about Tyrell Harrison, because for me, I feel like he holds the key to this team. We know Nathan Sobey's going to be a superstar. Lamar Patterson looks terrific. Robert Franks is the real deal. Anthony Drimmick, Jason Key, they've got some nice pieces around those guys. Can Harrison play his way into most improved player conversations this season? If he does, this team's a genuine playoff contender.
And he's in a unique spot where he doesn't have to do too much. All you have to do is rebound, block shots, or be a good defender down that end, and just get to the right spots, which he does on offense. Did it last year, has done it so far in the Blitz. You're going to get drop-offs, you're going to get oops, stuff like that. They're not going to roll it into him and say, go one-on-one throughout the whole game. He's just got to play his role, and so far we're seeing that, and it's paying off.
Machado drops it off to Deng. He tries to kick it out of the double. Foul called on Robert Franks, who has himself been impressive over their first couple of games.
I mean, we have new players galore in the league that everybody's going to get to know and love, but Franks has been terrific, and he's going to fit this lineup exceptionally well. So looking forward to seeing that. We haven't seen Isaiah Moss yet for the Bullets. Looking forward to seeing what he brings as well. But you put all those pieces together as Deng tees one up. That's what he does best.
3-point hit.
Right in the eye of his old 36's teammate.
Averaging 13 points per game in the Blitz thus far. Patterson to Harrison is knocked away by Zimmerman.
And you're already seeing now this is the way that they're going to play with the Bullets. And everyone, the question mark around Sobey has been for the last few years. Is he a point guard? Is he better off the ball? He's going to get the opportunity to do both every single night because Lamar Patterson brings the ball up a lot. He likes to get people in the right position, run plays. And that's good because he is a true playmaker as well. So plenty of weapons for Coach Duncan to use.
Here is Patterson peeling off the Harrison screen, and the big fella called for a moving pick.
Well, give credit there to McCall, and that's what he came in the league as. Adam Ford said that he's going to be a watch for Defensive Player of the Year, that Damian Martin trophy. But not only that, and we've seen some triple doubles over the last few years in the league. Keep an eye out for him. And in his last game, McCall had 14, 13 boards and 6 assists, and he's no stranger to that. He had 2 triple doubles playing in the G League. Does a bit of everything and does it really well.
Second personal foul on Harrison, so he checks out. Jack Sold into the lineup for the Bullets. They've got 4 team fouls, and that's off from Machado. Sobey in transition. Pulls up, trying to punish the D, and he does it. 3-point hit for Nathan Sobey.
Well, as everything tries to work out for the Bullets and they figure out rotations the way they're going to play, they're going to play that style of basketball, and it's going to be very fun to watch if you're a Brisbane Bullets fan.
We're all tied up. 2.5 minutes into the opening quarter. It's the first leg of your Wednesday night doubleheader of the Hungry Jacks NBL Blitz. Zimmerman from the middle of the paint. The floater is nice.
And that's what we didn't see a lot last year in terms of someone else handling the rock, making those plays for the Taipans. Scott Machado had the ball in his hands a lot. Good little pass there from Patterson to Salt, who finishes. But McCall to be able to push Machado off the ball and make those plays, get the big man in the right spot to finish.
Ooh, great
the
attacks from Tajir McCall in transition. Made bucket down one end, fast break layup down the other.
Well, he is an excitement machine. So Cairns Taipans will love that, and he's going to fit perfectly alongside Machado in that backcourt.
And here comes McCall. Gets the steal. He kicks it ahead. Deng, Zimmerman, and the Bullets knock it out of bounds.
Yeah, you see McCall there telling Deng, had a wide open layup. Deng saying, my bad, just trying to make the team play.
So they're desperate for a win, the Taipans. Funny to say that in pre-season, but 0-3 thus far. Lost to Perth on Sunday. Were competitive, but just let things go in the final quarter. 24-14 to the Wildcats, and they went down by 9. Here's McCall, slices to the rim and finishes off the board.
Well, it looked like he fumbled the ball a bit, but just stayed with it. That explosiveness to get up and finish that one.
McCall's been active to start. 6 of the Taipans' first 12 points as the Bullets try to respond. The defensive intensity's been much better from the Snakes to open this one. Sobey uses it against them and gets to the strike.
And that's going to be the question mark about the Taipans. They have those pieces, they have those threats on the offensive end. We know Machado's going to get everybody the rock in the right place, can put up some big numbers scoring-wise when he decides to go. McCall looks like he's going to be a danger. Quite Noy's a big one on that end as well. Looking forward to him getting back and playing some good, healthy basketball. It was on the defensive end, and I think that's ultimately where they struggled a lot last year, and we spoke about the year before, losing DJ Newbill, Defensive Player of the Year. How will they cope? And they didn't cope well. And Machado tried to step up and do both at a high level on both ends. And it's hard to do in the NBL. So McCall can come in, put his hand up, and they can help on both ends, take a bit of pressure off each other.
So 1 for 2 from the stripe for Sobey. 3-point lead to the Taipans. Quat Noy into the game. sat out their last one, Kawat Nguyen, has had a bit of a struggle over the NBL Blitz thus far. Wheels his way into the lane, but misses. Here come the Bullets in transition. 2-on-1. Sobey kicks it out. Drimmick, that's down.
They knew that was happening the entire way down the floor. Drimmick running to the deep corner, and as soon as he caught that from Sobey, let it fly. Just have to stay in Drimmick's hands long enough to get that one up.
He's in some kind of shooting form. In the preseason, Anthony Drimmick, he's now 7 for 11 from 3 over the course of the NBL Blitz thus far.
Well, rehabbing off that surgery, that's all you can do is just try and get the touch all right and do some stationary drills. He's going to come out for a breather here, and Tanner Krebs coming into the game. But that's going to be his role. They're in the bonus here now. The Taipans will go to the line to shoot too early in this one.
5 quick fouls from the Bullets. Aggressive Taipan squad, both ends of the floor. And a chance to jump into the lead. Tajir McCall to the strike. He's up against his former G League teammate Robert Franks tonight. Tajir McCall, those two won the G League championship in the G League bubble last season with the Lakeland Magic.
It's always nice to see those kind of relationships really come together in the NBL. Plenty of guys with the history around.
Extended defense from the Taipans, disrupts, but it opens things up at the rim. And Tom Digbo off the bench, the next star with his first bucket of the night.
I'm a big fan of Tom Digbo. I tell you what, he is an excitement machine. I'm not sure what happened there. Normally we'd expect a nice little flush, but might have caught a little bit of a flat tire.
Turnover from the Taipans. Machado trying to make a play underneath. Adam Ford signals to the bench he wants a huddle. Here's Sobey, guarded by Machado. Salt cleans Machado up, and Sobey takes advantage. Timeout, Taipans.
Well, that was a bit too easy. Nathan Sobey got whatever he wanted and got to his spot, rose up and knocked it down. But going forward, just trying to settle the troops, say we got off to a good start, but we've got to keep this momentum going. As you said, Liam, need to get a win. Need to get that confidence builder up and go into the regular season feeling good about themselves.
How important do you think the win is for the Taipans? So much of the preseason is about how you're playing, how well you're learning the system, you're transitioning to a new coach, you're integrating the new players to your roster. But when you get down to a situation where you've lost all 3 of your preseason hitouts, how important does a win become in that type of context?
Well, it's not so much for the new players. It's the ones who were there last year and the core that knows the struggles they went through last year. And even Adam Ford, who was coaching against them, everyone was aware of what the Taipans went through last year. So just to try and get off on a good note, tick day one off with, hey, we've got to win, we're feeling good, let's build on this. And as you said, it's not the be-all, end-all. It's all about how you play and what you learn and grow from. But just to be able to get that little monkey off their back, it would be big here.
Meanwhile, the Bullets, they're in pole position for the Loggins Bruton Cup to take out the Blitz overall. Only Adelaide, Brisbane and Illawarra can win the Loggins Bruton Cup from this point. And Brisbane, the only one of those teams that has 2 games remaining, because of course that Illawarra New Zealand game has been cancelled up there in Wollongong. So Brisbane, they get 6 points from this one, a win, and outscore the Taipans in 3 of the quarters. They'll vault to the top of the Loggins Bruton Cup standings. Noy attacks Jack Salt and puts it in off the glass.
Good finish there from Noy. And doesn't look as explosive off the dribble, but that was a lot better patient move from him, and looks to be at least strong enough to go into Salt there, move him out the way, and then get that touch nicely off the glass.
Robert Franks in the block, pounds away at Majuk Deng, spins, fades, lefty off the glass.
Well, he made that tougher than it had to be, created the space, looked like he had a couple of opportunities to just hit that little jump shot in the end. Wanted a little fadeaway lefty, and why not when you finish like that?
A staggered ball screen for McCall, lays it off for Zimmerman, and he draws the foul. So we're seeing quite a lot of Tajir McCall in the playmaking role, quite a bit of Scott Machado off the ball.
Well, you're wondering if that's obviously we're seeing how good he is doing that. But Machado was 2 of 13 in his last game, and you think just a way to try and free him up, let him play himself into the game rather than having the ball in his hands the whole time, trying to kind of get out of that little funk that you're in from a couple of tough shooting games. But good things are happening with the ball in McCall's hands. They're not going to leave Scott Machado his ability to knock down the 3 ball. We know he can do that. So they're making some good things happen.
Zimmerman was 11 from 15 from the stripe for the preseason before that miss. He comes up short, 0 for 2. Chuanxing Liu coming in for some first quarter minutes for the Bullets.
He was good the other night too. Big Liu, just his work rate. Set some big screens there. Also moves well and hit a couple mid-range jump shots that looked like he had a nice touch on that.
There is Big Liu, too big down low, can't finish over Zimmerman, and the Taipans take it away. Here's Kwatnoi in transition. Flips it to Machado, but he's got a foot out of bounds. And Big Liu puts his hand up, apologises for the miss down the other end.
Got to reward himself, doesn't he? Because he did all the hard work, and it's going to be hard to box him out. Puts his hands above his head and they got the ball. No one's going near it. But he is a big, strong guy as well. So to be able to really get low enough to move him outside the key is going to be a task for every team in the league. But his work rate, both offensively and defensively, is what's been most impressive to me in the Blitz. And there he is again, on the glass. He's going to cause some issues this year.
7'5", the tallest player in NBL history out of the Chinese national team. Signed as a development player by the Bullets, and I think a lot of people came into the Blitz thinking Big Liu might not be a part of their game night rotation on a consistent basis throughout the season, but he's really been impressing over these last couple of games. James Duncan growing in confidence to play the big fella. Here's Sobey. This is from long range. McCall active on the defensive glass. Can't find Inga underneath, but Keanu Pinder gets the job done. Inga with the deuce.
And it was good hands by Sobey to break that play up, and you see as soon as McCall gets that rebound, he's off and running.
Ding Ding has checked in for the Bullets. Played last season with Illawarra. Turnover from Tom Digbo. Here's Scott Machado reading the defense in transition. Kicks it to McCall. He's open. Hard off the iron. And Kwatnoi, he saves it, but right into the hands of Digbo. What can he create in transition? Finds Sobey. And Tajir McCall with the quick hands. Good no call from the officials. Brisbane will take it out.
Well, he is just such a tough defender, and I can't wait to see him take those big assignments on. In the regular season, he's got really quick hands, really smart and active hands. And back on Big Liu, when you talk about coming in with that signing, how much he's going to play, I think I had that question as well. And Coach Duncan might very well have had that exact thing. Well, we're going to throw him out here in the Blitz, see how he's worked. And if that's how it was, he's worked himself into getting those minutes in the season.
There he is, the big fella. Found underneath, well set up from Sobey. I think as time goes by and these Bullets develop more and more chemistry with Big Liu, I think we're going to see less and less bounce passes. More and more lobs up towards the rim.
Well, he moves a lot better than I expected for his. He's 7'5". He's a big unit, but it's the work rate that really has impressed me. He gets up and down the floor really well for his size, but it's in the half court. Comes out and sets multiple ball screens in possessions and rolls hard. And we've got some guys when they play small ball in the NBL that don't set as many ball screens like that. So that's something that's really going to make the Bullets excited about what he brings, because it's another dimension that teams have to scout for.
Split that pair. Chuanxing Liu and the Bullets up by 2. A tick under 3 minutes to play in the opening quarter. A bit of a foul fest thus far. Krebs picks Kwatnoi's pocket, and the Taipans going to keep it. The Bullets are going to take it away. So
good pressure there.
Great pressure from Tanner Krebs up the floor.
And that's what the Taipans trying to figure out their play in the half court, just a bit slow to act. Left Noi out there on an island with nothing else to do. And then Krebs got the better of it. And it's a turnover.
Jared Kenny and Tamari Wigness, the new point guard matchup. Machado and Sobey both off the floor as these two coaches go deep into their rotations to finish the first. Turnover from the Bullets. James Duncan irate with his next star out of France.
Well, looked like McCall might have got a piece of it, but either way, you just see how quickly he moves his feet. His agility, especially sideways, is next level, and he's got the hands and quickness to cause problems for everybody.
It's McCall, guarded by Digbo. Down the lane, and Big Lou sends it away. Not in my house. Chuanching Lou dominating around the rim. Back-to-back blocks from the big fella. Wigness, defense slips under, and that's hard off the iron. Taipans kick it ahead. Here's Tajir McCall. Having a big first quarter. Inga, McCall. And he attacks. Straight line drive from McCall into the body of the shot blocker. Kisses it off the glass.
Well, he learned his lesson, didn't he? Because I thought the Big Lou may have missed time that first block because McCall got past him quickly, but it was perfectly timed. I guess when you're 7'5", you've got a bit more room for error on timing that. But in the end, that one there, he learned from his mistake, went into his body, just ripped it away from pin to there. He might be called for the over the back. He is. But you love that. James Duncan, you're not upset with that at all. Just tell him to go out there and get after every single rebound. If you pick up a couple, then just be smarter. But you don't want to pull him back and try and teach him to go further forward. You want to let him give everything out there and then adjust and pull back a little bit from there.
Well, certainly asserting his influence in his minutes off the bench, Big Lou. And that loose ball foul will send the Taipans back to the free throw line.
This is a Bullets team that they bring back their core, and over the last few years we've often seen them play pretty small at times and play that way. Lamar Patterson at the 4. No such thing as playing small ball when you've got Big Lou out there.
We mentioned the situation with the Loggins Bruton Cup earlier. Just keep an eye on the score. A point available for a win in the quarter. It's not really relevant to the Taipans, who are just trying to build some momentum, but something for the Bullets to play for here. They trail by 1. A tick under 1 minute to play here in the opening quarter. Wigness. Kenny again slips under the screen. They roll it into Big Lou. He's got Pinder on his back, pounds it, spins, loses the handle, ding ding, cleans up the mess.
And there was McCall again with the hands. Ding dang in the right place at the right time. Just a nice little finish.
So the Bullets with the 1 point lead. McCall handling it, guarded by Ding Ding. Using all the 24 available. Kicks it out. Kawat Noi can't get the step. Digbo past Digbo, but finds McCall underneath for the finish. Krebs back on the attack. Pull up on the buzzer. Cans it. Tanner Krebs with the quarter time pull up jumper gives the Bullets a 25-24 edge after 1.
Well, they take the point, don't they, for the cup? But we like some more random predictions as we head in towards the season. But I think McCall was going to lead the league in minutes played. And because he does everything such a high rate, and they're going to need him to be out there. And I think he's got the motor to do it. We've seen him play a lot of minutes so far in the Blitz, but Adam Ford knows that you're going to have to keep him out there as long as he stays out of foul trouble and can keep playing at his high level. Good things happen when he's involved.
And if he's going to lead the league in minutes, he'll probably lead him in steals as well, with his level of activity at the defensive end. And I've been impressed with Tajir McCall's contributions at the offensive end over these first couple of games. I mentioned over their first 3, he's averaging 15 and 10, getting after the rebounds, but also contributing offensively. There's the Bullets out in transition. Tom Digbo's first bucket of the game. But McCall leading the way for the Taipans here. Played all 10 of those first quarter minutes. He's got 11 points on 5 of 6 shooting.
Well, everybody knows when you look at the highlight tapes of new guys around the league how you're going to go at them, as we see the as you said, leading with 11 points, even got in the right place at the right time. Sobey was good. Anthony Drimmick loves the first quarter. Come out there and play his role. He was really good for the Bullets in the opening few minutes. As you said, McCall, I think a lot of guys are now starting to realise that he is going to be one of the big threats on this Taipans offense and offensive unit. And Adam Ford comes out and says he's going to be a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. Everyone's thinking that's all he's going to do. And we saw last year Justin Simon was heavily defence and didn't do a lot offensively, didn't have to. And now we're starting to see McCall can do it all. And I'll tell you what that's going to do is as the game starts to roll on, if he keeps producing like this, it's going to open up things for Scott Machado to get back to playing a lot freer. Because if you're coming into this off-season and they brought back their core, other teams are thinking, we've got to get the ball out of Scott Machado's hands because he had the ball in his hand 90% of the time last year to try and make plays. But all of a sudden, the way it's going, can't do that for too long because McCall is making things happen.
So the Bullets go almost back to their starting lineup out of the quarter-time huddle, but it's Big Lou, Chuanqing Lou, staying in the lineup at the centre position. Tyrell Harrison cooling his jets on the bench. Sobey, Patterson, Drimmick and Frank's out there with him, and Patterson snakes his way to the glass.
So patient coming off the ball screen, and you know that he's always looking to get other people involved, sling some nice passes. Just kept taking the hit, and he's almost always thinking pass first, and when he gets in that attack mode, if someone doesn't come to him, he'll make you pay.
Noi kicks it out to Pinder. He's open on the arc, and he drills it.
Good knockdown from Pinder. Might have got away with a little happy feet. It looked like he caught the ball and shuffled to the right, but that's going to be good. Get Big Lou away from inside the block. Make him have to respect that. And then it's going to open up the driving lanes for everybody else.
Offensive foul called on the Bullets. The Taipans still rolling with their reserve unit. Jared Kenny, Bull Qual, Braden Inga, the development player, on the floor. Kuat Noi and Keanu Pinder fakes Lou, loses the handle. Ball will go to Brisbane.
I thought he might have got fouled, but it's something that Pinder's going to have to learn to grow. I'm happy he didn't settle for that 3-ball. We saw that last year. When he hit one, teams are still going to let him shoot that, and often he would. Tried to take Big Lou off the dribble. Ended up turning it over, but that was a better decision. It's Nathan Sobey. It's money. And I tell you what, talk about good decision on one end to attack. Pinder's got to be up on that ball screen because Nathan Sobey will just walk into that 3-ball every single day.
Chuanqing Lou freeing Sobey up for that look. Kick for the Taipans. Kuat Noi makes it count from long range.
Good ball movement. Well done from Jared Kenny. Keep your dribble alive. And again, got Big Lou attached to him down low and kept that dribble alive and got a bit lost, Lou. Didn't know where to go. Made the extra pass and good knockdown.
Lou, good hands from Pinder, forces the turnover. It's a high-octane opening half here in Tasmania, and Kuat Noi gets right to the rim, puts the Taipans up 2.
Well, I love that from you can hear in the screen. Adam Ford screaming, take him at Kuat Noi. Defense wasn't set. Good little rub screen from Keanu Pinder. Noi put his head down and just attacked, and this is what you want to see from Kuat Noi. You know what he's capable of on his really good nights. Had to deal with a few injuries over the last couple of years and some big ones. And he stay healthy and play consistent basketball because Cairns Taipans need it.
This has been much better from the Taipans thus far. Franks ties it up underneath as Bull Qual didn't get the call from the official. We're all tied up at 32. Flop warning goes to Anthony Drimmick. Kuat Noi lets it fly. That's off. Keanu Pinder tracks it down. Oh, great pass from Pinder and good block from Franks. 2 blocks in a row from Robert Franks, the import. Here comes Sobey, foul called. He goes to the stripe. All of that started from rim protection from Robert Franks down the other end.
Well, it was an outstanding pass from Pinder. I'm not sure if he saw the big fella underneath. And Robert Franks, 2 perfectly timed blocks. And you see what happens with the Bullets. You turn the ball over or get blocked, miss a shot, the Bullets are going to really explore those first few seconds, especially when the ball is in Nathan Sobey's hands. In transition, he's extremely tough to stop. And even with Lamar Patterson, if he gets that outlet pass, guys are sprinting to the corner, guys are getting ready to catch and shoot. Bullets are always going to explore that first 6 to 8 seconds.
A third in NBL in MVP voting last year. Nathan Sobey, all NBL first team. Coming off that bronze medal winning Boomers team from Tokyo. Set for another big season. Bullets go up by 2. Sejuk Deng now taking ball handling responsibilities. Everybody getting a piece of it tonight for the Taipans. Pinder, Noi, in and out for Kuat Noi.
Well, he's playing with confidence. Quite Noi hunting his shot after a good little period to start this second quarter. A little drop-off pass to Franks, and he's been doing that in the blitz. Stepping out, it looks like he has already got a pretty good relationship with Nathan Sobey and Lamar Patterson, so this is a really nice sign.
Aggressive Noi again, they come up short. Pinder, good work underneath Keanu Pinder.
Logan Ford wants Keanu Pinder to come in there, play with energy, crash the glass, make those energy plays as Sobey. That's, I'm not sure if there was a piece. It might have just been an airball.
Credit Pinder for being on the spot. Drimmick takes it away. Harrison's coming to the game, and he gets his way to the rim.
A little sloppy possession for both teams there, and in the end the Bullets capitalise on that one.
So just a worrying little moment here for the Taipans. They've been highly competitive the first quarter and a half, but down 5 all of a sudden. Turnover. Adam Ford wants to have a chat about it by the look of things. Time out, Taipans.
Well, there was a couple of sloppy plays, some bad passes. Pinder trying to say that he didn't have possession of the ball.
It might not be a timeout, just some rotations. He's got Tajir McCall back in.
Didn't take long. Did not take long. Back in. And McCall straight back in there so he can handle the rock. I think once he saw Deng bringing the ball up, he realised he's got to have McCall or he's got Machado back on there. So they took the ball away from Jared Kenny.
Here's Patterson, puts the Jets on, gets a shoulder pass to Jim McCall, draws the contact, and that basket will count.
Well, again, just so patient. You see Lamar Patterson, good move, got past alongside McCall, bumped into him, and then that's the kind of plays that Pinder can't afford to have. Smart from Lamar Patterson to get up there and put it straight in to the backboard, and you know Pinder's going to try and make those energetic plays, but in the end, probably going to cost his team an extra one.
Well, there is that timeout. Adam Ford was thinking about it before, and now he calls it 41-34. It's been a rough couple of minutes for Cairns. Brisbane leading this quarter 18-10 after taking the opening quarter by 1. As we said, it's the first leg of our Wednesday night doubleheader in Northwest Tassie. We've got Perth and the Jack Jumpers in the second leg later on. What do you, with those teams 1 and 2 over the course of the Blitz so far, what are you looking forward to in that one?
I love watching the Jack Jumpers play, the way they go about it, and I think you've said it and a few guys have said it, is the Jack Jumpers squad has been together more so than any other team in the league. So they've played with each other, they know everybody's role, the role clarity is a bit more advanced than other teams. They're fun to watch. And Adams is a high flyer, he's an absolute player when he gets out there, and young guys coming in and doing their thing. You've got the veterans, Clint Steindl, doing what he does best, the captain, and the Perth Wildcats, and down a few guys. Michael Frazier not going to be playing this one, and some key guys out, but still looking forward to seeing how Vic Law goes again. He had a massive night the other night.
He did. It'll be a first chance for about 75% of the Jack Jumpers roster to play against their former team tonight. Scott Roth, of course. You mentioned Clint Steindl, Will Magnay, who was electric in his 13 minutes the other night. All going up against the Wildcats, trying to continue to build their preparation. Machado back in the game. Machado and Sobey facing off again at point guard. Who is Machado? Wants to take Sobey down low. Gets the screen from Pinder. Tries to body up down the lane, but can't finish. Tyrell Harrison takes it, and here come the Bullets. Trying to build on a 7-point advantage. Harrison hands off to Sobey. lob pass from Sobey, and Majuk Deng called for the foul underneath.
Well, he doesn't like it. It's definitely a foul. Good awareness from Sobey to throw it up, and that's Harrison have that little 1-2 punch down packed early in the preseason. That last year, that's a really good sign. But credit Robert Franks there to get into a position where Majuk Deng was right there to try and help on the play. And ended up getting called for the foul. Machado doesn't like it either, but it's definitely there.
There's an element of frustration on Scott Machado's face. 0 points, 0 from 3 from the field, 2 assists, 2 turnovers for Machado, second in MVP voting a couple of seasons ago. Here's Patterson, gets past McCall. He can't finish off the glass. Taipans out in transition. Early ball screen from Deng. A little bit around the perimeter. Zimmerman's slams on the ball screen for McCall. Gets Patterson up in the air. Good pass from McCall, but Zimmerman can't handle it. They keep it alive, and McCall finishes underneath.
Well, it was messy, but it worked out in the end. And McCall just telling the big fella, keep your hands ready. I'm always looking to pass.
Here's Harrison in the low block. Banging with Steven Zimmerman. He holds his position, and the Bullets come up short. Kick ahead. They find Nartai in the corner. He can't find the range. A little juggling act underneath. Wide open look for the Taipans. Goes begging.
Well, it was good ball movement. Just get the ball up the floor. Didn't even hit the deck. Got straight to Nartai. Just came up a bit long on that one. I'm with you. I see that frustration as well with Scott Machado. He's struggling to shoot the ball a little bit. You know it's going to come, and I think a lot of it is going to come with the release. Good pass there from McCall to Zimmerman for the finish. It's going to come to that pressure coming off because McCall has really stepped up into a playmaker on both ends, but especially offensively. And once defenses adjust to that, it's going to open things up for Scott Machado. We know what he can do on any given night.
Timeout called by the Bullets. James Duncan not happy with that easy bucket underneath. Trying to establish a defensive identity, James Duncan, this season with the Bullets, he tells me. Because he's taken over a team that has been excellent at the offensive end the last couple of years under Andre Lamanis, but needs to take some big strides defensively. Not too dissimilar to how Brian Gorgon felt about coming in and taking over the Boomers and entering that Olympic campaign. And James Duncan feels that's the big challenge, and therein lies the reason for that timeout. Looking to stomp on anything he sees at the defensive end that isn't at the level.
And it's been evident over their blitz in the preseason for the Bullets, and none more than you're seeing Anthony Drimmick, Tanner Krebs really pressuring the guards to make them uncomfortable, bringing the ball up the floor, and even on a turnover or missed shot, whoever's close to the ball is just trying to pick it up and really harass whoever that ball handler is. So it's definitely in the Bullets players' minds. They know that is going to be their identity, and James Duncan right now probably telling them all, we're going to have plenty of guys to get through. If you pick up a couple fouls here and there, don't worry about it, but I want to see that defensive identity from every single guy who steps on the floor.
Franks, the 5-man in this lineup, calls for the ball screen. The ball finds weakness. He's having a little struggle with his stroke at the moment. McCall kicks it ahead. Zimmerman, geez, McCall was chatting to him about his hands a moment ago, and they slip right through the fingers again.
Scott Machado turning and saying the ball is wet there, but in the end Zimmerman might have thought about making that next hockey pass to the corner before he had it. And I was saying the Bullets played small ball a lot in the last few years, and got Franks at the 5, Deng really athletic. And
this is what they like about Robert Franks, the ability to play these small ball lineups, slide him up. So tough from long range, shooting over 50% from 3 in the blitz thus far. Can't hit there. Nartai gets it back, turns down the open 3. Oh boy! Jordan Nartai with the righty leaner.
Well, he can do that. Jordan Nartai, he's a sneaky athlete. Love that he didn't settle, just missed that open 3 in the corner, in the opposite corner a few possessions before, as Franks tries to stay aggressive. Good defense there from Majuk Deng. Didn't foul, didn't drop his hands. What a pass from McCall from Majuk Deng.
Big couple of minutes here for the Taipans. things were going the other way moments ago. All of a sudden, the Taipans are in the lead. Can the Bullets respond? Krebs, good strong take, but he can't finish at the rim. And the Taipans running with numbers. Deng puts some heat on the rim and draws the contact.
Well, that's been twice. You see Adam Ford yelling at his teammates to get him up, trying to build that culture up there in Cairns. But twice on the defensive end, Majok Deng has done an outstanding effort of walling up. Not dropping his hands, not trying to go for a block, just being really big and long, trying to make some plays, and he's done that. But I'm a big McCall fan. He's looked really good throughout the whole blitz, but first quarter and a half, he's looked exciting.
This has a chance to quickly become a 10-point turnaround. The Taipans were down 7 a couple of minutes ago. All of a sudden, after that Adam Ford timeout, Majok Deng hard off the iron there, but they have turned this completely around, right back in this thing. And Taipans are up by 2.
And it started on the defensive end, hasn't it? Getting stops, not fouling, and then getting out and running. And everybody knows that's why there's a turnover. That's the way that Taipans have played over the last few years. Played some exciting basketball when they get out in transition.
McCall has the job on Sobey, chasing him around those big loose screens. Sobey, it rolls off the rim. Deng Deng tracks it down. Lets it fly. Ill-advised 3 from Deng Deng. And it opens things up for the Taipans. Majok Deng wants it down low. Machado looks him off. Calls for the ball screen from Zimmerman. Into the lane, Machado kicks it out. Majok Deng lines it up and drills it.
That is a fantastic pass from Scott Machado. You saw he just pulled it out. Said, let's get it set up. Swung a couple guys through baseline, brought the big fella into the screen and attacked Lou. And it looked like he was going to go up with the left. Zipped it across the court. That's an M1 from Tanner Krebs. So back to Scott Machado, just a left-hand zinger. Straight to Majok Deng, who, doesn't matter if you've got a hand in the face, Majok Deng will rise up and shoot that straight over the top of anyone.
It's a little bit stronger coming into this regular season, Tanner Krebs. Second season as a pro. Solid rookie campaign last year for Brisbane. Geez, they would have had hopes of signing him as a jack jumper when they first got the license down there in Tassie, but signed a long-term deal with Brisbane, and he looks like he's added a little extra strength in the off-season. Machado out to Noi. The Taipans are up and about.
Well, again, Machado making plays now, just looking like his old self. And you're right, Tanner Krebs, it's the defensive intensity that's going to get him those minutes. As Sobey with the floater comes up short, but all the offense will be a bonus if he can just stay aggressive and confident on that end.
He's hunting the rock too, Machado. He's feeling good. Spins. And that 3-ball bounces off. 6-point lead to the Taipans, trailed by 7. We're 5 minutes ago. James Duncan could sense it, called the timeout, but it didn't stem the bleeding. Sobey was desperately trying to call a whistle, and he got there.
Well, there wasn't a lot in that play from the Bullets. It was a bit messy. Sobey trying to get guys in the right position. Didn't happen, so he went himself and really smart. The snake dribble got Scott Machado on his back, and as soon as he felt that contact, he went to throw it up. A little bit of back and forth,
A little bit of chit-chat.
That's what you want to see. It's just two of the best point guards in the competition, just having a little preseason word to each other.
Well, I think Sir Jim McCall primarily involved in that. Sobey looking over his left shoulder, continuing the conversation. It's been a 15-2 run to the Taipans. Sobey just trying to steady the ship.
Might have been McCall just telling Sobey, you're lucky that I wasn't guarding you. Scott Machado was called for the foul. But we know now that Nathan Sobey, what he's going to be. He's that heart and soul of the Bullets, and Lamar Patterson back to his old self. So James Duncan's going to have his hands full with figuring out the rotation with their guards. Anthony Drimmick, we know what he does and what he brings. As Nathan Sobey just letting McCall know that he knocked that down. And early rivalry here.
I think he's got a couple of easy decisions to make. One is that Nathan Sobey needs to play nearly 40 minutes a game, and the other is that Lamar Patterson
needs to play almost 40
is
minutes.
in a very similar boat. And everyone else can find some minutes around those two guys. Majuk Dang, he got to the spot and kissed it off the glass.
Well, you're right, aren't you? You've got Jason Kadee, who's out right now, just coming back from not feeling too well. Anthony Drumick, Tanner Krebs there, Tom Digbo, who's showed some really exciting flashes, and I think a lot of it will be based on the feel of obviously practice and as games go, who's playing well at certain times, and have a real feel-out process of those extra minutes.
Digbo drew the foul underneath the Taipans in the bonus. So the young Spanish-French next star to the free throw line.
Gee, he looked really good. You know, had that highlight play in that first Blitz game, but had 16 points in his last outing. It just looked really exciting. Extreme athlete, gets out in transition, was making plays through contact, finishing well. I know we got some exciting next stars in the league. He's definitely up there.
100%. Played in Lithuania last season, had a 27-point game against Zalgiris.
Well, he's got the opportunity to play for both the French and Spanish national teams, and this conversation last time he was out there, and you think about it, that's a tough decision to have to pick.
He's got his sights set on the 2022 NBA draft. Digbo going to parlay a big year with Brisbane into a career in the NBA. Officials just working things out with the score bench. Krebs again making a nuisance of himself defensively.
And that's what's going to get him those minutes. We talk about those extra minutes available for the guards behind Sobey and Patterson. Because you know that Drumick and Kadee, with those guys on the offensive end, to come in and can get hot really quickly.
Machado, final possession of the opening half. It's been a big second quarter here for Cairns. Machado into the lane. Keeps his dribble alive. He's got Big Lou trying to move his feet. Step back from Machado is off. And that'll do us for the opening half. 51-46. The Taipans lead on the back of an outstanding last 5 minutes of the quarter. They win the second term, 27-21.
Well, it started with real disciplined defense, and Juk Deng led that. Every time someone got beat was just walling up without fouling. And when they did that, they could get out and run and making plays in transition. We saw a little glimpse there of Scott Machado getting back to his old self, making plays, getting guys the rock to knock down some threes. And that's the way the Taipans are going to play. We spoke a little bit about rotations for the Bullets. I think Adam Ford's going to get to a position where he thinks, I can't have Machado and McCall both on the bench at the same time. One of them has to be out there, at least running the show or making plays happen. He had the start of that second quarter, he had them both sitting down, and it didn't take long to get McCall back out there.
Yeah, we get a look at some of the first half highlights. Tajir McCall is the equal game leading scorer with 13, leading the way for the Taipans. Majuk Deng has 11. Kuwat Noi, the other snake, in double digits with 10. And Scott Machado, he's got 4 assists for the Bullets. Well, it's Nathan Sobey leading the way with 13 points, but they went dry in that second quarter. 1 field goal for Brisbane in the final 6 minutes of that opening half. What went awry offensively?
Well, we saw a couple of possessions where guys weren't set up in the right spots to get through plays, and Nathan Sobey had to try and make something happen. Got a couple of foul calls, but credit the Taipans defense. They tried to get up a little bit more, get up and in, be disruptive, and it worked. And even when they were getting beat, if you play defense the way Majuk Deng did those couple of possessions, that'll solve a lot. If it finishes over you, so be it. We'll go down the other end and get a good offensive set.
Well, it's half time at the Ulverston Sports and Leisure Centre. The first leg of your Wednesday night double header, of the Hungry Jacks NBL Blitz. Up later, Perth Wildcats up against the Tasmania Jack Jumpers. Both those teams 1 and 2, looking to build their way through the rest of the pre-season as we get a little look at the halftime stats. It's been a fun first half. Both teams shooting over 50%, 45% from long range for the Taipans. They got hot in that second term as Scott Machado had started setting up their guys.
Well, he got them wide open ones, and that's the way you got to start, because we know Majuk Deng can hit the contested 3-ball, and guys, the real confidence team. But look at them out rebounding, 22 rebounds to 12, and I think they played small, the Bullets. Robert Franks was at the 5, and it didn't take long James Duncan to get Big Lou back out there and say we need some bigger presence on the glass.
There you see that the scoring leaders overall, 3 Taipans in double figures. Scott Machado setting the table in that second term. Nathan Sobey carrying the scoring load for the Bullets. And we've spoken about Lamar Patterson a lot over the last couple of games. He has come into the preseason looking good. Good job from Keanu Pinder on the glass, coming in 8 boards off the bench. What did you make of LP's opening half? 10 minutes, 4 points, 3 assists.
Well, when he had the ball in his hand, something good happened, didn't he? Made plays, or he got downhill to get his own shot. But big thing for him, as we see the assist leaders right now, is all those 2 guys, the ball dominant guys for the Bullets. He's just got to get with Nathan Sobey. They got to figure out how it works. Who's got the ball? Who plays off the ball? Still make plays for each other, but had an outstanding last game. Sobey didn't play that one. The ball was in his hands the entire game. How can he be super effective when they both playing together? They both play at an extremely high level and they work well together. Just now figuring out the best place they need to be.
Well, we're going to take a quick break. Big second half. After the break, the Taipans looking to get their first win of the preseason, and the Bullets trying to stay alive for the Loggins Bruton Cup. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
We'll race anything around here. Even the odd penny farthing.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been home for a little bit too. Gone off a couple of times now, but yeah. The blind still hit him. But he sort of put his hand and said, sorry mate, sort of thing, but... You meant to hit him. Yeah. He wasn't going to bloody let the rest of it. Oh dear. Yeah, right. I haven't been able to catch up with him, but he's just come up. I don't know what it was on. Might have been on our Thunder website. We've got to put their page on the Facebook so it comes up and
Welcome back to Northwest Tasmania, the Olsen Sports and Leisure Centre, where the Cairns Taipans lead the Brisbane Bullets 51-46 in their Hungry Jacks NBL Blitz preseason hit-out. You can see there, just a tick over 3 minutes to go until the second half. Liam Santamaria on deck alongside NBL champion Pete Hawley. Pete, dropped my preseason power rankings.
Did you what?
Earlier this afternoon. The Illawarra Hawks, of course, on top. The Taipans have been underwhelming in the preseason thus far in 10th place. Where did I go wrong?
I thought they were based on what we've seen the last 2 weeks, I think they're pretty accurate.
Okay.
I might be, I mean, I've been a big New Zealand Breakers fan from just when they put their roster together, so I'm high on them, and the COVID situation hopefully can be resolved as quickly as possible. But the only thing I could think of as potentially changing, I'm out of what we've seen in the last 2 weeks in terms of, if you disregard the wins and losses, and just with the way teams are playing, which
it's all about the eye test with the power rankings.
Phoenix are going to be tough. The Phoenix really are going to be tough. You talk about bringing back a core with a culture that's just wants to go another step further than they did last year.
So I've got them number 2, Hawks 1, Phoenix 2, Breakers 3, although that was prior to the COVID
situation
news, which is a setback for their preparation, no doubt about it. Then Sydney, Brisbane, who have been impressive over their first couple of head-outs, Melbourne United. Adelaide was probably the surprise for most people. Adelaide and Perth 7 and 8, Adelaide 3 and zip. And I've got them sitting in 7th spot on the power ranking.
Well, as you said, I think replied to someone, they haven't looked completely convincing, have they, in the first 3 games? I mean, you get wins, which is ultimately important, but I think that's going to continue to grow. I might have had them maybe a little high. The Kings are hard to read on, so if it's talking about the last 2 weeks, maybe they do have to be a bit lower. I think the finals bound. If I had to concrete one team in, I'm probably leaning towards the Kings. They're going to be really tough to beat. They just had everybody out. Everybody's been injured. They haven't put anywhere close to a full squad. So if you're based on that, then maybe the Sixers do get a couple nods there. But it's going to be, if you think about the last 7 or 8 years, how competitive across the league we've got, how many teams vying for 4 playoff spots. I can't remember a league the year it's going to be as close as this.
Well, at risk of banging home the motto for the league this season, it's next level.
It's insane.
The competitiveness across the entire competition, 100%. I mean, you've got teams right up and down those rankings who have legitimate chances of making the postseason.
And I'm high on the Wildcats. I think the pieces they've brought together, especially Michael Fraser, the last signing, is going to make them tough to beat. But it's going to take time. They were late to the party with Scott Morrison and everybody coming together. They're going to go away for a period of time with the border rules, so they're going to be away from home. How do they adapt to that? How do they deal with that? And everybody's thinking, oh, Tasmanian Jack Jumpers, that's a new team. They have played or been playing and practicing together a lot longer than other teams. So they will surprise a lot of teams when they come out, especially playing at home, the atmosphere that's going to be there. At the Nest, I believe, we're going to go with the Nest.
I'm happy with that.
I didn't mind yours.
I'm cool with it. But I like the Nest, and my State Bank Arena, that's going to be pumping.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. But then and now the Bullets, again, I say it's strange to put them in that surprise category, but when they're up and firing, they're going to be a really tough squad.
We're underway here in the second half.
I think we just had 2 minutes of having no idea who's going to finish where.
That's how you want to go into a season. Zimmerman underneath. And the deflection from the Bullets, turnover results. So Brisbane back with their starting group.
There he is again.
Tajir McCall gets hands on that one.
It's an unsportsmanlike.
Unsportsmanlike foul called on Lamar Patterson. Tajir McCall wreaking havoc with his defensive impact.
That possession there, Adam Ford's got to clip that up, because you see, as soon as Lamar Patterson crossed half court, McCall obviously down his stance, but pointing where he wanted to send him. No one else was set defensively behind the ball, but the big fella saw McCall down his stance pointing. Majuk Deng ran over to help out, and McCall just waited for that crossover and timed it perfectly and was so quick. And we love an early call, but he's putting his hand up saying that Damien Martin trophy is coming home with me.
Well, he told me recently that he loves playing defense because others don't. He said you get all the plaudits in basketball for scoring buckets and
Can relate.
and putting points on the board. He says so. He has found a niche as a guy who just loves getting stops, loves having an impact defensively for his team. Turnover from Scott Machado. Here come Brisbane. Sobey up against McCall. Robert Franks, and McCall gets his hand on that one. He's everywhere right now, the new Taipans import. Scott Machado finds McCall along the baseline. There's no room available, so shot clock winding down. 1-5 pick and roll. Machado finds McCall underneath. Bit of a scramble, has to hoist it up and just gets a piece of the iron. Brisbane take it away.
Oh, Messi, opening minute here to start the third quarter.
Sobey sets up Patterson, transition 3. Harrison tips it back.
They're the plays that Harrison, you said, he's going to have to be a big part of the Bullets. That's what he's got to do. Hang around, get those little extra offensive possessions, as Machado, before the defense is set, just goes right down the other end. And back on McCall, this is what made them a semi-final team 2 years ago, the Cairns Taipans. DJ Newbill led that from the front, and everybody else had no choice but to follow defensively. They have that guy now, and we saw a little bit about that in the second quarter. Franks called for a hook. Little chicken wing in there from Robert Franks. And as I said, they have that guy. McCall was going to be one of the best defensive guys in the league. And the Taipans will be exposed if no one else comes to his level. So Adam Ford knows now that he has that to rely on. And when everybody's doing that and they're out in the break and playing fast and having some fun, all of a sudden the Taipans going to be hard to beat.
Well, it was that increased defensive intensity as Machado puts Tanner Krebs on the deck. And McCall lines it up, can't hit. It was that increased defensive intensity that turned things around in the second quarter. Taipans finished that second term on a 17-5 run. Turned a 7-point deficit into a nice healthy lead as Harrison cuts into that margin with the lefty hook. Machado, snake dribble on Tanner Krebs, and one finish underneath for Zimmerman. So Nathan Sobey's come out of this game over the last couple of possessions after starting this opening quarter, and that is not his usual rotation.
Well, you think if James Duncan was just trying to play with things and just change the energy, he's not the one that would be a culprit of getting pulled off that early. So keep an eye on what's happening there with Nathan Sobey.
See if we can get a look at him on the bench at some point, see if he's okay. Such a key to the Bullets this season. All NBL first team last year. He's on the bench now, maybe ready to check back in after this timeout. Maybe a little bathroom break.
We just came back from halftime. Maybe a little shoe maintenance, but there's a
Okay.
little drop-off pass from Drumick to Harrison. And that's what Tyrell Harrison's got to do. Set screens, roll, always keep your hands ready, finish when you have to, and he had a little put back as well. You see Big Nate Jawai, Mirko Jerick, and not playing tonight. I'll tell you what, we talk about what Big Lou brings is that extra dimension when they throw him into the game. Nate Jawai, when he sinks himself on the block, if you don't do your work early, you're not moving the big fella.
Well, geez, didn't he look good the other day against his former team, the Wildcats? 21 points off the bench, and he was an unstoppable force down low. Sitting this one out with soreness. Jawai, if you missed off the top, Mirko Jerick not playing with a calf strain. Isaiah Moss still out for Brisbane, as well as Jason Kadee. Play for Machado, and he scores in the middle of the lane.
Starting to pick it up now on the offensive end, Machado. Instead, he was buried for the first 15 minutes. Looked a bit frustrated and started 0-4, working himself into it, make some nice plays.
Beautiful action from the Bullets. Harrison to Sobey, and that's going to count.
Didn't look like he actually touched the rim there, Jordan Artai, but in the end, before that shot even went up, Scott Machado put his hand in the air, signaling to Adam Ford, I messed up here. I went to a little cheat on the high post flash, and as you said, really good offense, good play. Nathan Sobey wide open. In the end, still counts all the same. The number 20 in blue.
He's up to 16, Sobey. It's a 6-point game. Zimmerman can't score underneath. He's been relatively quiet. He's 100% from the field before that miss. Zimmerman, Harrison down low, put it on the deck. That let Machado get involved. There's a foul called on the Taipans. It's on Scott Machado. His second personal.
Well, the Bulls would love Jason Kadee back, veteran leadership coming off the bench. And do we have an update on Isaiah Moss?
No word. Hasn't played yet in the Blitz. And James Duncan told me ahead of the Blitz he was unlikely to play. They were hoping maybe they might get him in for some minutes in their last kind of game or two. You got one game remaining in the preseason against Adelaide, MyState Bank Arena on Sunday. The Bullets. Harrison, geez, how long in the paint the Taipans call. Patterson can't finish at the rim. Kick ahead, beautiful ball movement from the Taipans, but Ngatai can't control it.
That's all you love to see when they get out in transition. A couple of smiles there from Deng and Ngatai, and that's the way the Taipans love to play. Have fun with it, get out, get some stops, and get out in the break and make some plays.
So a 6-point margin. 3.5 minutes into the third quarter. And the Taipans just able to stay on top. After gaining control late in that second quarter. Brisbane, as I mentioned earlier, they get 6 points from this game. A win and winning 3 quarters as Sobey lines one up from long range. Cuts the margin to 3. They will vault to the top of the NBL Blitz standings.
Patterson returning the favour to Sobey, who set him up a couple of possessions before, and he missed a 3-ball, and that's the little 1-2 punch in there. The pressure off the ball.
Turnover the Taipans. Sobey, Patterson, he finishes over the front of the rim. Timeout, Cairns. 1-point game. Good couple of minutes from the Bullets.
And that's the maturity that Nathan Sobey has really grown into over the last 2 years. Gets down the break, had McCall in front of him, and normally we're trying to see him trust his speed and athleticism and really take that on. Was probably a one-on-one until he slowed it down, and in the end, I might have thought he was going to make the play to Anthony Drimmick. Here's the play before that, little 1-2, straight back to Sobey. But Anthony Drimmick got out in front. He just flicked it over his left shoulder to a trailing Lamar Patterson. And then you can see Jason Kadee just barking some instructions. That's that veteran leadership you talk about.
Future NBL head coach, Jason Kadee. Got no doubt about it. Comes from a rich basketball family and background, and I have no doubt when he eventually hangs it up, he'll venture down that path, and I think he'd do a really good job.
Absolutely. I mean, been around the game probably since before he could walk.
Yep.
And then when he was walking, he was wiping the floor.
He was at
West
the
Sydney Razorbacks.
Yep.
He's got plenty upstairs to offer, and a great little move. And speaking of players to coaches, David Barlow announced in the NBL 1 to head coach of Sandringham Sabres, his childhood team, in the NBL 1 next season, which is exciting.
And we see him, you saw him on the broadcast the other day, the influence he was having with Ariel Hutt-Porty. Always taking opportunities to teach the young fellas coming through. Got a little text message here from NBL legend Sam McKinnon, GM of basketball for the Bullets. So without a doubt, NBL head coach Jason Cadiz. A vote of confidence from the great man. He'll be enjoying what he's seen from his squad over the course of the preseason.
Absolutely.
Thus far.
Maybe we'll get the first player coach in today's twilight years in a couple of years' time.
Geez,
get that Shane Hill back.
Hold on.
Anyone can do it. It's Sam McKinnon. Just throw it out there to him.
Harrison gets a little piece of Machado's shot, and the Bullets have a chance to take the lead back. Patterson spinning on McCall, strong to the hoop, can't hit. Franks, power dribble, strong finish, counted and the foul.
Well, good finish from Robert Franks going through traffic. And here is why I think it's also really smart from Adam Ford before the season starts to highlight McCall as a defensive player of the year candidate. Referees know all that now. Gets away with a little bit more. Looks like there might have been a bit of contact there on Lamar Patterson. When you know that he is built up, and you've seen it already in this game, he has got quick hands, and 90% of them are perfectly clean. But he can get away with the extra one or two where there might be something in it.
Yeah, you just get in the official's head a little bit.
That's genius.
We see it. You see it late in quarters from the legendary coach Brian Gorgon, game in, game out, when he's yelling out no foul, no foul, no foul, which is 60% because he doesn't want his players to reach in and he wants them to keep their hands out. And just 40% wants the officials to know we're not trying to foul. I've told him not to foul. It's the opposite to yelling out, get after it.
And in the pre-game scout, Brian Gorgon telling the team, when I yell no foul, I'm saying foul.
Get up.
Get up.
Get
Send
after
them to the line.
So a 2-point lead to Brisbane. Halfway through this second quarter. It was all going the Taipans' way there at halftime after their thunderous finish to the second term, but the Bullets have fought their way back.
Well, they picked up that defensive intensity a couple of times when they get some missed shots down one end. As I said, whoever's closest to the ball, they're trying to pick it up and dog the ball the whole way into the front court.
Here's the versatility of Robert Franks on display. Helps out in the backcourt, advances the ball. He gets into the pick and roll with Patterson. He takes it right down the lane. Lamar Patterson with the crafty finish.
Well, a little jelly in the end, but for a split second, I thought he was going upstairs. He's already got a nice little dunk and at the nest to open up his preseason account. But he's moving just so much better and just making those plays. This is the MVP caliber, remember, from a couple of years ago from Lamar Patterson.
He's just drying up a little bit for the Taipans offensively. Late in the shot clock here, fadeaway Majuk Dang, that's off. And Brisbane a chance to extend this lead.
And then credit the activity, the ball pressure. Everybody was moving and talking behind the ball from the Bullets. Saw Nathan Sobey didn't stand still on the defensive end, just made those plays.
Spanish pick and roll from the Bullets. Sobey pick and pop and knocks it down. Time out, Taipans.
We've seen a couple of teams do that in the Blitz. We talk about the Spanish action where you have the ball screen and you put a shooter setting the back screen for the big who's setting the original ball screen. And I believe we might even be able to break that down a bit better when the regular season starts. But teams have started to bring that to the wing rather than doing it at the top where you have both corners filled. Empty out the whole strong side, run that action with a side ball screen and your shooter coming up basically to the high post area. And what it means is someone's going to have to come across to help or it's going to be a wide open dunk. That's that was Lamar Patterson. Anytime you see that quick little second dribble.
There's the back pick from Sobey. And punishes the Taipans as he pops out. 11-zip run to Brisbane. They're out by 7 now, and this game has turned on its head. Jason Kadee on the left of your screen. He's chatting with new assistant coach Peter Crawford. His old man, Kadee, his father Robbie, was coach of the year in both the NBL and the WNBL. So it's very much...
That wouldn't be a very long list.
Geez, wouldn't have thought so. Extended pressure from the Bullets as we get back underway. 4 minutes to play in this third term. What kind of response can Adam Ford get out of the Taipans? Kawat tries to make things happen, but fumbles it out of bounds.
And they're back to that small ball lineup with Franks at the 5. Deng's in there, and they're switching everything. Everybody was making moves. Nathan Sobey, Tanner Krebs, and Mark Patterson all switching it up the top in the guard spots.
That small ball,
the turnover.
You're right. That small ball lineup is looking really good for Brisbane. They turn it over here, though. Here's Bull Qual, finds Pinder, rides the contact, doesn't get the whistle. Patterson steps out of bounds. The Taipans will get it back.
Oh, look like a bit of contact there on that one from Pinder. Oh, with the nice drop-off pass. In the end, they'll get it back. Trying to get a good offensive set here. Adam Ford in a polo with the long sleeve undershirt. Just saving his best for the regular season,
Is
you'd
he,
assume.
or is this the new Adam Ford?
Well, he's up in far north
hope
now. He
we
might
get-
be a bit hot. He might be thinking 3-piece is just going to be a bit too much.
It won't be the long
Cairns?
sleeve under the polo, but I'm wondering whether he might be just a polo man now moving forward as
Not a
Noi.
chance. Not a chance.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm hoping not. Noi gets himself to the free throw line. This is the bench unit for the Taipans. Kenny, Bull Qual, Kawat Noi, Braden Inger on the floor, and Keanu Pinder. And I think Kawat Noi looks around at who's out there with him on the floor and says, I need to be aggressive.
And these are those little minutes we saw in the start of the second quarter where we said at halftime, Adam Ford might get to a point where he can't have Machado and McCall on the bench at the same time. Got to stagger it so that there's always one of them out there making plays. But you're right, with the current lineup out there, it's quite noise time to go.
Double team in the backcourt from Cairns. Almost force the turnover. Tanner Krebs just steadies the ship for Brisbane. Deng got a little lost offensively. And the play broke down. The Taipans take it away.
Good box out from Keanu Pinder there. He's been all over the glass in this one.
Here is Noi making the play and finding Pinder on the roll.
Well, they ran the right set. Got the ball in Kawat Noi's hands, and he turned the corner, looking to be aggressive. And he made the right decision. Little drop-off pass to Pinder.
So it's the reserve group for the Bullets as well, but also with Nathan Sobey on the floor. And the Taipans, just a good couple of possessions, getting back in this thing. Step back from Deng, turns it down. Krebs, that's off the iron. And the Taipans get it, and look at the Cairns bench up and about on the sidelines.
Well, they've lifted their defensive intensity. You can see everybody was blowing up the handoffs. Jack Salt there was trying to make 2 handoffs, and every single time the guard got blown up on the defensive end, had nothing and had to settle for a rushed corner 3 ball.
And James Duncan reinserts Lamar Patterson. Can see the momentum changing here as the bench group for Cairns regains some control. Beautiful find there from Keanu Pinder. Braden Inger will go to the strike.
Nice quick high-low. Did you see that big man jump out to try and show? Kick it on as quickly as you can to the other big who's flashing. And that high-low, it's going to either be a layup or a foul, as we saw there.
Big man from Auckland. Signed as a DP, played in the NZNBL under Rob Beveridge at Southland. Averaged 14 points a game, 4.5 rebounds, went to the playoffs. Got a chance to come in and make a name for himself with the Taipans. We've got a 2-point game. 2 minutes and change to play in the third quarter. The Sunshine Stoush in northwest Tasmania. Portnoy up and in. Lamar Patterson. Fade away from Patterson. Thought he was going to get a whistle. Nothing comes. Athletic rebound from Pinder. Chance to tie it or take the lead for the Snakes. Inga from long range is off. Lamar Patterson pushing in transition. Oh, beautiful find for Digbo.
What a pass. Lamar Patterson just waited till the last minute. A bit of around the world, and Digbo just timed his cut perfectly. And that's the athleticism that he'll show. You're going to see some exciting plays from him this season.
Pick and pop from Pinder's no good. 4-point lead to Brisbane as we close in on the end of this third quarter. Krebs works off the Harrison screen. Righty floater from Harrison's off. Inga, strong rebound. So no Machado, no Tajir McCall, no Stephen Zimmerman. The Taipans hanging tough here in this third term. They need that from Kenny. It's off. Deng Deng takes it away. Final minute of the third. Patterson. Oh, wow. Quick spin from Patterson, and he finishes over the rim.
The lefty in and out into a spin. That was a thing of beauty. And that is Lamar Patterson at his ultimate best. That'll make the highlight reel.
Just a little teaser of what's ahead in NBL 22 from Lamar Patterson. Bull Quoll over the outstretched hand of Patterson. A much-needed triple for Cairns. 3-point game. Time winding down here in the third. Patterson feels unstoppable in the pick and roll right now. Harrison had the extra pass to the corner, and he didn't find it. That'll do us for the third term. 3-point lead to Brisbane, 70-67. After that late 3-point hit from Bull Quoll, just keeps the Taipans within striking distance.
Yeah, look, Adam Ford will be happy with that. The two main guys, Machado and McCall, were sitting down, and they weathered the storm, made some plays. Patterson, it's a nice little highlight play. He and Nathan Sobey started to get going a bit. Harrison had a couple of those little rolls to the rim that came up a bit short. He's got to finish those. That's what's going to make him really important to the Bullets outfit.
Nathan Sobey's the game-leading scorer with 22, 6 of 11 from the field. He's 5 of 7 from long range. Good minutes from Keanu Pinder off the bench for the Taipans today. He's working on a double-double, 8 points. He's already got 10 rebounds, a game high rebounding count. As Tajir McCall leads the way for the Taipans with 15.
It's a nice little pass to Tom Digbo for the dunk, and there's the leading scorers. The crop of next stars we have in NBL 22 have the potential to have some insane highlight plays dunking-wise this year, and we've already seen a couple of them. Digbo was one in the first game, as we look at the rebound leaders you spoke about. Hugo Besson, big dunk over Joe Chi.
Massive.
Need to clarify how tall Besson is, because the Breakers put up a tweet, but his Wikipedia says different.
Well, you're going to go by Wikipedia?
I've never known Wikipedia to be wrong.
What did the Breakers say?
6'5".
Okay.
6'2" was the listed height.
No, much more than that. 6'5".
6'2" sounds better over 7'2".
No, 6'5" is an NBA prospect.
Well, in terms of that, but in terms of dunk, 6'2" sounds better.
True.
But Ariel Hukporti,
oh my goodness,
we need rings on standby. Like, legitimately, that man has the potential to pull one down.
And the whole stanchion was rocking there.
We have seen one come down in Illawarra a couple of years ago. Was that last year?
True.
So, and he is athletic and as strong as they come.
No, you're not wrong. We're going to see a couple more NBA draft prospects in the second leg of our doubleheader tonight. Nikita Mikhailovsky hasn't really had a lot of run thus far in the preseason. And he's not a next star, but Luke Travers looking to build on a nice performance the other day. Big block from Harrison. The Taipans get it back, and Bull Quoll again. He has been lights out from long range in the preseason.
Well, nice little addition to the Taipans roster this year to step out and knock down those 3 balls, and that's what they want from him.
He's 6 of 8 from 3-point territory in the blitz, Bull Qual.
He's going to get called for the foul there. It didn't look like he did a whole lot wrong. He's taken the assignment of Lamar Patterson on. And the Bullets rolling out their starting lineup here to start this 4th quarter. And Cairns are sticking with what worked well in the last 3 minutes of that 3rd quarter.
So Patterson goes to the stripe. 10 points, 6 assists for Patterson. Coming off that 16-point, 6 rebound, 7 assist performance against the Wildcats. Continuing his impressive preseason. Posted something on Instagram today, Patterson, as Bull Qual turns it over. There was something about there's limited time for the bandwagoners to jump on. Limited time to jump on the bandwagon, he said. And get the sense he's in for a big year with Brisbane. Holds off the defense, gets into the lane, spins and scores. Patterson starting to take over this ball game.
Oh, that reminds me of when we put out the way too early preseason predictions, and that was as Qual goes again and knocks it down.
Oh my, the rookie is white hot. 3 big triples in this second half from Qual, keeping the Taipans in this thing.
That's what I was saying, Lamar Patterson.
Franks from long range, that's down.
Well, it's been a bit sloppy at times in this one, but when the shooting's been on song, both teams are filling it up as Drimmick with the steal and the pressure.
Great hands from Drimmick, drops it off to Franks, but he can't control it. Bullets keep it though. 4-point lead to Brisbane. Going to work on Pinder, put him on skates, can't knock down the pull-up. Tyrell Harrison could make a nuisance of himself. Draws the loose ball foul.
Again, that's what you want to see from Harrison. Just not going to come up with the rebound. Contested hard enough. But those kind of plays and those fouls get called. That's going to make James Duncan very happy.
Drimmick caught in the corner. Good pressure from Noy, and the turnover results. They couldn't quite control it, the Taipans. Brisbane will get it back by the looks of things, but only 4 seconds on the shot clock. So good pressure from Cairns. What a shooting display this has been from Bull Qual. There's Adam Ford just trying to help defend the inbounds.
Okay, Jerick. Not afraid to have a couple things to say. He was up and about.
Well, Mirko's nursing a little calf strain. Just needs to cool his jets there on the bench.
Well, I think there might have been a reset to 14, and that was what Mirko Jerick and Adam Ford were saying. That's got to be 4 seconds.
You can see they're running the shot clock down in the background. It stops at 4, so 4 seconds to play with for Brisbane. Franks lets it fly straight away 3. It's off the front of the rim. The Taipans out in transition now. Still no Machado, still no McCall, still no Zimmerman. Cairns hanging tough. Inga comes down the lane. Fellow Kiwi Harrison sends it away. It's a block party with Tyrell Harrison right now.
Well, he's timing it well, coming from the weak side. And he's making guys have to make that floater. That's his 4th block.
There you see the line for Patterson, who has it right now. Has the lane down the left. Tries to draw the contact. Offensive foul is the call.
Oh, it looked like he might have hit Pinder on the side. Pinder got there in time. It just didn't look like it was a flush offensive foul, but it doesn't matter because it is one. That's a turnover, Bullets, and Taipans bring in Scott Machado and Majuk Deng. try and close this one out. 4 fouls on the mark. Patterson now.
So an extended stretch on the bench here for Tajir McCall, who was having an enormous impact on the ball game. 15 points, 2 boards, 3 assists, and a steal for McCall. And he's walking to the score table now to check in. Adam Ford bringing back the big guns. 4-point deficit for the Snakes. Bukwal earns some extended run with his 3-point shooting. Machado's floater is off. Zimmerman tips it in.
Good touch there from Zimmerman, just hanging around the rim. Duncan's got a big Lou. He's got to snatch that one. He's in the right place. Didn't get a hand on it.
Drummond gets into the lane, but he can't finish. So a chance to tie it up or take the lead for Cairns. Geez, this has been a back and forth affair. Each of these, but Lou gives Machado way too much space, and he shrugs to his head coach, saying, I've got this.
Big knockdown for Machado, that'll help him. He's been struggling a lot. 3 of 10 tonight. It's his first one from deep.
Came in shooting 3 of 18 from 3 across the blitz. Sobey counted and the foul.
Those 2 big screens from Lou are outstanding. The way he gets there, gets set, impossible to get around. Got Nathan Sobey to get downhill and gets the M1.
The explosive quickness from Sobey as he turns that corner. And the ability to put it up off the glass with the right through the contact.
And he's been working hard this 4 minutes in the fourth quarter, asking for a sub on the shooter. Needs a little breather. And that's another part of his game that's really matured though. Be able to turn the corner, ride the contact, and finish. A lot of the time we saw a few years ago where he would play for the foul coming off those kind of plays and getting downhill. Now, he uses his speed and athleticism and tries to play through it. And it's not going to give you a breather when you come up short on that one.
It's a 1-point game. 6 minutes to play in the final term. Majuk Deng lets it fly from long range. Zimmerman pulls down the offensive board. He wants it in the block now. The big fella from Las Vegas finds McCall. Funky offensive possession for Cairns. Zimmerman wants it back. 1-on-1 in the block. The help comes from Deng Deng right on time. Sobey, Krebs, bucket for Brisbane.
Well, they kept feeding Zimmerman down low and just wanted to get to that right shoulder with his left hand to make a play. Didn't look baseline because, tell you what, Qual was wide open on the other side twice. They just couldn't get him the rock. Yes, Zimmerman's line, 11.7 rebounds. Turnover, as I said, was really trying to force it to the middle.
Things just turning Brisbane's way all of a sudden. It was a 1-point lead to Brisbane at quarter time. The Taipans won the second quarter by 6. And then Brisbane owned the third. And it's been all tied up here in the fourth. 11 points apiece. Franks draws the foul on Majuk Deng.
Well, it's a unique lineup when they do play Robert Franks as the 5 because he had the ball in his hands that entire possession as what would be the centre in this lineup. Ultra small ball and let him make some plays. That's always going to be it's the way the Bullets have played. Even Lamanis will love to throw different lineups out there. It's going to make the opposition team have to think, are we going to play our usual lineup? Are we going to have our big man out there or are we going to match the small ball lineup?
It's an interesting one for Adam Ford because the Taipans, they had their eye on Robert Franks. They were in conversations with Robert Franks when Brisbane signed him, hadn't yet pivoted towards Stephen Zimmerman. So Adam Ford is no stranger to the talents of the Brisbane import. That one comes up short. It looks like a foul was picked out underneath. Loose ball foul. And the Bullets are going to keep it.
Oh, it's on quite annoying. I think they're just having a chat now. Was the foul before the shot clock violation?
That'll be his 4th personal, Kwartnoy. And the Taipans are over the limit. So the Bullets will step to the free throw line. Crowd beginning to build here at the Ulverston Sports and Leisure Centre ahead of the Jack Jumpers back on floor in the second leg of your Wednesday night doubleheader. Basketball fans in Northwest Tassie loving what the Jack Jumpers put on display. They came up short on Sunday against Adelaide. Just blew out of the gates. Led the 36ers by 21 at quarter time as Will Magnay put on a show. The Jack Jumper fans looking to see more of that later tonight. Trimmick splits that pair. 4-point lead to Brisbane. A tick under 5 minutes to play. McCall spinning down the lane, draws the contact.
Tough move, nice spin. In amongst 4 guys. He's been reliably informed from the greatest of all time when it comes to sneaky messages during broadcast. If the Taipans win this game, it'll send your second pick of the power rankings to the bottom of the ladder of the Blitz.
Who's that? The Phoenix?
Phoenix.
Okay.
Might be a little tongue-in-cheek from Statman there, just to...
Nice from the stat man. Yeah, they've looked good, the Phoenix. For me, they're 1 and 2.
I'm with you.
They had they have an overtime loss to Illawarra, where Simon Mitchell, they didn't have Mitch Creek that game. They didn't play Xavier Munford in overtime. And then they lost to the Breakers off that last-second magic from Finn Delaney as Digbo tries to set up Harrison. Zimmerman called for the foul, and he can't believe it. Looked like Harrison put his left arm on Zimmerman's shoulder as he went up for the finish, and the big fella from Las Vegas is called for the personal.
It didn't look like there was a whole lot in it, but I think that's the plays that Tom Digbo will get better at over the course of the season. Take a dribble and just try and feel out what Zimmerman's going to do. Is he going to stay home? Or is he going to come closer and give you a better chance to throw that lob? One dribble put him in a position because he just stayed on Harrison. It was going to be tough if there wasn't any contact at all. But over time, we might see Digbo to really try and just lane open up and like that to have one dribble and have a crack at it.
So 0 for 2 at the stripe for Harrison. The margin stays at 2. A tick under 5 minutes to play. Machado looking to take control offensively. Ball reversal now. Kwartnoy had a good few minutes before. Turnover here. Zimmerman couldn't control it. Krebs, athletic finish.
Well, big finish over McCall when you saw it. McCall was just waiting to try and time it. Wanted every piece of that. But it was almost like a triple pump.
Good pressure from Digbo. And the Bullets nearly forced the turnover. Third team foul on the Bullets. What can the Taipans find offensively? It's just gone a little dry for a couple of possessions here. McCall tries to find Zimmerman. Harrison right on the spot.
Good read from Harrison.
Oh,
what a pass.
Harrison. Oh, wow. Digbo, athletic to the rim. Draws the contact on Bull Qual.
Well, firstly, what a pass from Lamar Patterson. In transition, and no real gather once he got the ball. Digbo just one dribble and up he went.
He was skying towards the hoop, Tom Digbo. Timeout called. 4-point margin in the Sunshine Stoush preseason hit-out.
And it was a good play defensively from Harrison. Call him the no-look lob. Nothing came of it because he stayed with it, thinking the whole time something might come. Tanner Krebs out in transition, had a couple of those tonight. He's looked good. But this one right here, a little up and under against McCall.
Krebs has got 8 now. Enjoying playing back in his home state. Nathan Sobey, the game-leading scorer with 24. To go with his 7 assists. Lamar Patterson filling out the box score alongside him. 14 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Franks and Harrison, the other Bullets, in double figures. And for the Taipans, it's Tajir McCall with 17. Kawatanoy with 12. Deng and Zimmerman 11 points apiece. And it's been another rough night for Scott Machado from the field. 7 points, 3 of 11 from the field, 1 of 4 from long range to go with his 5 assists.
We saw you had a couple little patches where he looked like Scott Machado, making plays happen, putting his head down, really attacking through the key and then making some nice passes. But it'll come for Scott Machado, just trying to fit his way in to another year. Always going to get the best defender for now from the opposition, because we know how much in the last 2 years, how much damage he's done with the ball in his hands. McCall can keep making plays like he has been tonight. It's going to just take a lot of pressure off him in the regular season.
Big Bo checks out. Nathan Sobey comes back in for Brisbane. Caught that little rest for a couple of minutes, and now he's good to go. Meanwhile, Adam Ford still has some of his reserves out there on the floor. Kawatanoy came off the bench today, as did Jared Kenny. No Tajir McCall out there right now. Here's Zimmerman. Gets across and around the defense and scores at the hoop.
Well, that's what the Bullets are doing. You can see what they're loading up on his right shoulder. He wants to get to his left-hand hook in the middle of the key. That's going to open up that baseline drop step, and he still finishes with his left hand. Here's the pass from Patterson and Harrison. Missed about 4 or 5 of those tonight. He's frustrated with himself. These are the ones he's going to have to consistently knock down, because it takes those pressure off the guards. Mark Patterson and Nathan Sobey are looking for him in that situation. He's got to have the poise to finish.
Good pressure from the Taipans. Offensive foul called on Brisbane.
Oh, called on Harrison off the ball.
He's a little bemused by the whistle, but the Taipans will get it back. You see Tajir McCall just picking at some tape on his wrist. Not in foul trouble, McCall. Ford maybe just managing his minutes. We work our way through the preseason. Oh, hold on, a little bit going on here with Machado and Tanner Krebs.
And Sunshine Stoush is living up to its name already in the preseason. Krebs and Scott Machado and Nathan Sobey just saying, it is hot up here, isn't it, in Queensland? But we're in Tassie now, a bit cooler. Sets up nicely for some rivalry battles across NBL 22.
Bit of yap after that play. Majuk Deng and Tanner Krebs talking it through. Everyone just getting on the same page. Machado, meanwhile, steps to the stripe. First trip to the free throw line tonight, the superstar point guard. One for 2 from Machado. Cuts the margin to 2. Extended pressure from the Snakes. But the Bullets work their way through it. Here comes Harrison. Flips the ball screen. Patterson working off that pick. Floated down the lane. Way too easy for Lamar Patterson.
How patient was he on that ball screen? Just had the defender on his hip. Was always looking to potentially throw that lob to Harrison as Machado tries to answer back and comes up short. That's just not going for him right now. And here we go, Nathan Sobey just giving Lamar Patterson the rock, saying, I'll play off the ball, you make some plays happen. And this is We think about a couple of years ago when he was in the MVP conversation. When it came to being a closer in the league, Lamar Patterson's name came up every single time because of plays like that.
Oh my, he's in his bag right now, Lamar Patterson. Just taking control late in the fourth as he guides the Bullets to victory. Takes his tally to 18 now, Patterson. 8 of 14 from the field. Can Machado and the Taipans respond? Finds Kenny. Machado again from long range, and he needed that. The Taipans needed that.
Did he what? He knows it. Good knockdown from Machado. Good extra penetration from Kenny, not settling. Into Machado, knocks down his second 3-ball of the game.
Keeps glancing towards the bench. Machado wondering if he wants his running mate Tajir McCall out there on the floor. Is Sobey guarded by Machado. Gets a foot in front. Good hands from Machado. Taipans in transition. Here's Machado all open. Kicks it to the corner. Kawat Noi comes off. Geez, that would have tied it up.
Jim McCall, as you said, not in foul trouble. It is an interesting one because there's Jared Kenny, veteran, in that trust category for Adam Ford, but Nathan Sobey with the knockdown in the corner.
Big hit from Sobey. Doubles the margin. The Bullets are out by 6. Machado open again from the arc. That one's off. Sobey, bizarrely, knocks it out of bounds. Had an opportunity to grab it, and the Taipans will get it back.
Well, I think Nathan Sobey just thought on that one, if I can't get it, no one can. Well, maybe that little young fella in the Penguin hoodie just wanted a little touch of the game ball.
Majuk Deng from range. They need it. They don't get it. The Taipans. Harrison cleans it up. That Sobey triple may just be the sealer. Taipans desperately need a stop here.
Yeah, look who's got the ball in his hands once again, Lamar Patterson. And Sobey's been perfectly fine playing off the ball because this man's just going to make plays. That's going to be called for a travel. Not in the NBA, but here that will be called. Little 3-step step back. Little quick shuffle. Thought he might have got away with it.
His feet are moving quickly. Patterson. They need to go quickly. The Snakes here. Down by 6. Turnover results. That's not what the doctor ordered. Sobey drops it off to Franks, and he puts the icing on the cake.
Well, that'll do it. You'd think.
Sub for the Taipans. Finally, Tajir McCall comes back into the game. So odd to see him sit out for all, well, essentially that entire fourth quarter.
He was in there for a little bit, but we saw him on the bench just playing with that tape, and you wonder what he was thinking the same thing of, what's going on here?
Well, they had that look in the corner to tie it up, the Taipans. Kawat Noi about a minute of playing time ago, and it didn't go down. The Bullets were able to take advantage, and they've extended this margin out to 8. And the Taipans staring down their 4th straight defeat of the preseason.
Well, they've had flashes, both teams have, and in the end, just the big plays towards the final stages of this game from the Bullet superstars. And what I've been really pleased about is the last 2.5 minutes. Every time Nathan Sobey got the rebound or the quick outlet, when they slowed it down, he just gave the ball to Lamar Patterson and said, make a play. Not only that, Lamar Patterson had some big buckets, but he found Sobey in the corner to knock down the 3-ball. That's what you want from your two main guys. We're talking about 2 years ago, someone who was in the MVP conversation, Lamar Patterson. Then last year, Nathan Sobey in the MVP conversation. So you have two guys who are playing at that level. If the rest of the guys will come with you and play the right way, Bullets have the pieces there to trouble a lot of teams.
You see the clock management in the background there. It stops at 18. So 18 seconds remaining. The shot clock switched off. 8-point margin. Noy pushes it, comes off the Zimmerman screen, and Harrison, too big, sends it away.
That's 5 blocks. Harrison just timing it really well, and as you said, that'll do it. Bullets pick up a nice win here.
So time expires on the Taipans, and Brisbane take an 8-point win. It's the Brisbane Bullets 94, the Cairns Taipans 86. Brisbane vault to the top of the NBL Blitz standings. They are in pole position to take out the Loggins Bruton Cup as a result of a 3-0 start to the preseason.
Well, both teams had their patches in this one that looked really exciting, and we can look forward to throughout the year, and just the clutch plays at the end from the Bullets and their main guys in Lamar Patterson and Nathan Soapy got the job done.
Well, it was a nip and tuck affair, wasn't it? The Taipans had that big end to the second quarter, got their noses in front, but the Bullets too strong when it mattered most. Harrison had a good night above the rim and setting shots away. 10 points, 5 boards, 4 blocks for the 22-year-old 7-footer. And Sobey and Patterson combining beautifully. 27 and 8 for Sobey, 18, 5 and 7 for Patterson. Kwatnoy was productive off the bench for the Taipans, but it wasn't enough as their Queensland rivals, the Bullets, get the win and continue their undefeated start to the preseason. And for the Taipans, another opportunity goes begging. 0-4 for them in the Blitz.
Well, they had their chances, missed some big shots down the stretch. Scott Machado was off about the whole game pretty much, shooting the ball. The Bullets just made those crucial plays at the crucial times. As you said, led by Nathan Sobey and Lamar Patterson, they're going to be given a lot of opportunities to win a lot of ball games. Robert Franks, a great addition. Harrison looking good, Drimmick looking good. And overall, the Bullets will be happy.
And that wraps up the opening leg of our Wednesday night doubleheader. There you see the Jack Jumpers and the Perth Wildcats up next. The tip-off for that game will be a little delayed, originally scheduled for 7:30, but with the Taipans and Bullets going a little longer than expected, new tip-off time of 7:44. So you see in the background a 21-minute countdown to tip-off, and we will be back for that one. In the meantime, it was the Brisbane Bullets with the win over the Snakes, 94-86 on behalf of myself, Peter Hawley, the whole hard-working crew out the back. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you for the second leg at the NBL Blitz.